Hi, how are you? How is everything going? I hope you have a great summer to come. I thought today we will talk about something really important, and that is it's the difference between Arabic language, Modern Standard Arabic or MSA, and the dialect. So these three terms are what we will talk about today. The Arabic language is everything that has to do with the language itself. If it's the dialect, the conversation, culture, the language itself, the written and spoken, the conversation, and everything that has to do with the language. As for the MSA, it's the Modern Standard Arabic, and so in the Modern Standard Arabic we have the written and spoken. Modern Standard Arabic has been very simplified and for practical everyday life, so it has changed greatly from the past. The Arabic language has classical and also has older script and poetry and literature from really old times. And obviously the Quran is an example of the language in classical terms. It's very old language, and there's older and the old poetry that we have until today, and other literature works from sciences or other works also. Okay, so in this case, we will talk about the dialect. Okay, the dialect is the conversation that we use in the Arab world. Okay, so the dialect is the conversation that we use in the Arab world, and it is the way that we use the language in everyday life, really, in our culture. So if you come from a country, you use that dialect in everyday conversation and in culture. However, the MSA Modern Standard Arabic is a different kind of language that we use in written and read. It is common in all the Arab world with some differences between the dialects, however, or Arab culture in the world outside of the Arab world. However, it is a very, very important kind of segment of our life today. We use it in journalism, in novels, in literature. Everything in the modern world with language has MSA. MSA is oversimplified and it is very, very nice and easy. However, it still has grammar rules and it still has its own world of language. Modern Standard Arabic is the written and read language that we use today for conversation. It depends on our culture and the country we come from, or where you are, or who is teaching you in the course. If it's Egyptian, if it's Lebanese, if it's Levant, if it's Moroccan, if it's from the coast of northern coast of Africa, if it's Gulf, Oman, if it's Iraq, if it's a different kind of Arabic culture that has its own kind of dialect from a certain region in the Arab world or around the world. So this also is included. Okay, and so in this case, we have a different kind of approach. Okay, to the language if you want to learn conversation, different than if you want to learn Modern Standard Arabic or the Arabic language. So make sure you see what you want. Do you want to learn the Arabic language in general with all its aspects? Do you want to learn something specific? Do you want to learn from history perspective? Do you want to learn from Modern Standard Arabic perspective? Okay, do you want to learn from the perspective of the dialect and the culture? Okay, so do you want to use it in conversation? You're getting married, you have a best friend, you have your relatives, you want to go back home, you want to talk in a conference, you want to travel, you want to learn the language, you want conversation more. That's all for dialect. Okay, dialect is very different from country to country and culture to culture in the Arab world and the world in general. Okay, so make sure you know where you are and make sure you know where what you want to learn. Okay, it may be right now very simple and oversimplified for you, but make sure when you go into research you are straight and you organize and you know exactly what you want so you don't get lost. Okay, you have your teacher, you have online resources, and you can ask me comment here if you have any questions. I would be more than happy to answer you. If you are lost and you don't know, okay, what do you want to do, I'll be more than happy also to answer you and guide you, as I am a mentor and counselor in this field, and I'm a teacher for 15 years for teaching Arabic for foreigners. I would be more than happy to answer all your questions. So in this case, make sure you know if you want to do modern standard Arabic, if you want to do Arabic dialect, or if you want to study Arabic language in general. Okay, there's also classical Arabic in the sense of you want to study, you know, maybe your native language is Arabic, or for any other reason you're interested to study old Arabic language, religious, poetry, literature, sciences. That's also really important. Okay, so make sure you know where you're heading to, your direction, and I would be more than happy to help you out. I have my contact information on this channel. Please subscribe and follow me always here. And I would be more than happy to guide you or to answer any of your questions. Have a great day. Bye.